I'm relatively new to ICRISAT, so it's a real pleasure to put some faces against email addresses, so I'm very grateful for the opportunity. I'm going to show you a few slides on CCAFS, so which is the CRP on climate change, agriculture, and food security. How does this work? Sorry? Okay. Oh, okay. No problem. So this is the structure of the presentation, so I'm going to give you some updates on the history and status of this particular CRP. Going to show you the regions where we are currently working. There's also a general program framework that I want to show you. And then I'm going to very concretely talk about the budget allocation and possible links with other CRPs. Also about activities across teams. And I'm going to briefly mention the goals of the planning meeting we're going to have tomorrow. Then there is a regional program of West Africa, but we are not going to introduce that today, so that's a mistake. Anyway, CCAFS is a bit of well, exception to the other CRPs, I could say, because it was launched in 2010 already. So we're really dealing here with a fully functional CRP. CIAT is the lead center. And also, unlike other CRPs, all CG centers are involved. There is a coordination or management team in place, and they're based in the University of Copenhagen. And well, they are together with some people at CIAT who are dealing with the administration. And there is a whole set of regional programs as well. The total budget for the CRP was 50 million. About 50 million in 2012, and ICRISAT got around 5% of that. They do have a global log frame, which I will briefly show you a few aspects about. And there are 12 global outcomes, but no IDOs yet. They're under development, and they're gonna come out in the next few weeks. Also, unlike some of the other CRPs, with CCAFS, we're actually in pretty good shape in regard to planning. Because for 2013, actually, the plans and the budgets have been submitted already. And that was basically because we had, well, there were some deadlines from CCAFS, and we decided to hold an internal planning meeting in Nairobi in July. So this is the regions where CCAFS is working. So their main regions for the moment being are East Africa, West Africa, and South Asia. They're expanding in the course of this year to Latin America and Southeast Asia. But as you can see, this is a map from the CCAFS website. The fact that we're also reporting bilateral projects through the CRPs means that there are some study sites also in Southern Africa popping up. So it's not limited to these 5 regions, I would say. As long as the content of the research fits the CRP, we can report it through CCAFS. This is the CCAFS framework. So they're basically organized across 4 teams. There are 3 teams grouped as kind of technologies, practices, partnerships, and policies, and they're basically about, the first one is adaptation to progressive climate change, so that's really looking in the future. The second team is adaptation to managing climate risk, which is more about the current situation. Then there is a team on mitigation, so of course we're looking there at trade-offs between adaptation and mitigation. And then there is a kind of an integrative team integration for decision making. So they're kind of taking all the information from the other teams and try to assemble data and tools for analysis and planning, and also interact with policies and policymakers. In the end, the goal is an enhanced adaptive capacity in agricultural, natural resource management, and food systems. And then these arrows lead to these 3 big teams of CCAFS, being improved environmental health, improved rural livelihoods, and improved food security. And of course, we again find there the trade-offs, but also the synergies in between. So for ICRISAT, so as I said, we have been through the 2013 planning and budgeting exercise already. And for 2013, we have 3.9 million in CCAFS. That is excluding the regional program. So this is to make this point about the bilateral and the window 1 and 2. So 60% from the 3.9 million is still from bilateral projects, and 40% is from CCAFS. Then I've also made the distinction between the teams. So you see we're quite well heavily invested in team 1 and maybe a little bit underinvested in team 3. So that could be one of the things we can discuss in the planning meeting towards the future, whether we can allocate it across teams a bit better. There you see the regional breakout. So 26% West Africa, 43% in Eastern and Southern Africa, and 20% in South Asia. And we've also been asked by CCAFS to tell them about our budget that we spent on research on gender and social differentiation. And we made some calculations, and it's about 14%, which is pretty good. There is kind of a there is a target percentage of the budget that has to go towards gender. I'm forgetting now what that number is, but I think 40% is pretty good. A little bit about the links with other CRPs. This is basically, my opinion, where I see the possible links. With the Dryland systems and waterland and ecosystems CRPs, I see many links to the methodologies. Peter already mentioned the importance of modeling and geospatial analysis. So I see there's some very clear links coming in there. So on the system, landscape, climate, and bioeconomic modeling and geographical information systems. There are also some clear links, but we need to probably discuss a bit more tomorrow how we strengthen those links with grain legumes and dryland cereals CRPs, and that is basically through the breeding and the crop modeling. And we should talk a bit more tomorrow how we strengthen those links, and we're thinking about working more on heat tolerance, pests and diseases, and quality in this context of climate change. We have also clear links with PIM or MIP. I don't know what the final acronym is, but I mainly see these through a socio-economic analysis and modeling. We have some projects together that use these TOA models, impact models, and also the work on gender fits there very well. No need for you to read through all these texts. I just wanted to point out how we are distributed across these teams. So you see that we're invested pretty heavily on adaptation to progressive climate change, with a total of 6 activities there. So by the way, these are the 4 teams with each of them, they have 3 objectives, and each of these objectives also have an outcome. So that's why I was saying the whole of CCAFS has 12 global outcomes, and that's where our ICRISAT activities are fitting towards these outcomes and objectives. So again, 6 in team 1, then we have 4 in team 2, only 1 activity in the mitigation team, and 4 activities under this integration team. So we can go more into detail tomorrow in the planning session. So the goals of this planning meeting tomorrow, which will be at 10:30, so you're all invited, is basically get a more detailed overview of these planned activities. So I will show you, all the things that we have been planning since July. Clarify these links with other CRPs, and especially the one with the breeders, I think needs some more attention, how we integrate. We also, as Peter already mentioned, want to see how we can link and review the outputs to outcomes, and in that sense also prioritize. In the case of CCAFS, for example, as Peter mentioned, it really comes with the budget that you're getting from them, that the number of outcomes and impact studies that you have to produce. So we, at this moment for ICRISAT, we need to produce 2 outcomes every year, and an impact study is due in 2014, so we better also discuss about that. We also want to identify gaps, so if we need more partnerships on certain teams, maybe even new stuff within ICRISAT. And as I said, the planning and budgeting for 2013 is basically already done, so we should look beyond and see what we can possibly change and add for 2014.